Hello, my name is Jordan, and today we are looking at NIMBY Rails. We are going to finish the Seattle line build today, and let's just dive right in. So I was looking at this, and I think that I actually want to cross. Right about here and get over this way, because I'm thinking that a routing from New Wacom to Eveline through Winlock and Vader, and then crossing the river right about here would probably be best. It's going to follow the contours a little better, and it's going to keep us away from some of the trickier parts of following the interstate. So let's just go ahead and do that. So let's start here. We will get rid of that and head this way. Perfect. And that gets us across the interstate. And we want to just go straight through next to this park. All right. Now, thinking what we want to do is we want to be right here, which means we want to be right about like this. So we want to be about like this and like this. Yes. And that gives us some freedom to go right here. Excellent. 275. And we're good. Okay. Now, I think we'll actually go to the left of Eveline. Although it looks like we have a pretty good rail corridor right here. World's largest egg. Well then. Okay. Let's get through. Alright, so we know it's there. Let's see here. Yeah, that's not going to be very good for us. So how are we going to do this? We could do some So I think we're going to have to viaduct to get over that. Okay, so then what we want to do is we want to come in like this, and actually we could follow this river, get across right there, come straight down. We might be able to get a decent turn into there. Let's give that a shot. Okay. Okay. And yeah, this looks like it's going to turn out pretty good. All right, so then what we want is this. All right, and we'll viaduct this section. Right, like that. Okay, made that connection. Straighten this out a bit. Good, now we just need to connect this section back in to our line from Centralia and Chehalis. And there we go. Let's connect this in so we can move on. Okay, so we want to move this over here. Just go straight up. Okay, we wanted to be on the other side of this road. Yeah, we definitely want to be on the other side of this road. Okay. And that's that. And here and here. Ah, and then the alignment from Wabash. We're gonna need a pretty severe turn right here. That'll be fine. It's a bit of a slowdown, but we've kept so much of the line at the right speeds, I think we'll be fine. Okay. So from here, we want to go down, down, through here, and through Vader. Where do we want to go through Vader? Probably right over here. Yeah, just like that. And this is going to give us a hard turn. But what we want is, I think, to cross right about here. So I think we will cross here. I wonder what it thinks of that. Yeah, this section right there, that was always going to be an issue. Okay, so we will simply viaduct this. Just like that. Okay. And from Vader. Oh, this is going to be a nice, we want to stay on the left side, the west side of this little peak here. If we can. Just like that. Yes. Perfect. All right, and that gives us a nice little line on it. Okay. Probably want this to be viaduct because we have to get across the river. And from here, we're going to follow this road. Okay. Excellent. Oh no. Really? Alright. Well, nothing we can do about that. That is a pretty awful turn. But we were able to avoid a lot of those kinds of turns by going through Vader and Winlock. Alright. Yes, and then straight down here. Okay. Okay, so that's where we want to do that. Not super realistic to double cross this road right here, but it doesn't give us an overpass, so I'll go ahead and live with that. All right. So, oh, do we want to be on the left or the right? Well, looks like we kind of have to go through here. Okay. This looks unfriendly, but is that like marshland? Oh, it says we can just build on it. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get on the right side. There we go. Yeah. It looks like this really is going to be the easiest path through. Okay, Pleasant Hill. Yeah. I'll just go to the right here to avoid some overpasses. And then up. And then this is where we will cross, I believe. Straight across. Like this. Can I get across? No, I cannot. So we could make this bend. Possibly. So it looks like that is going to be too severe of a curve. So, more viaduct. Excellent. And that just makes it easier to get across. That tells us we want to be on the left here. More viaduct. Okay. I think I can live with that. Look at that. We are already almost into Longview. Although we want to get over right like this. So, more viaduct. This is just the reality of some of these longer lines. You're going to end up having to do a lot of viaduct if you want to follow the terrain contours like I'm doing. It's a little bit easier if you ignore the terrain contours, but you know, you run into other issues. For instance, if you just cut straight through the mountains, you run into an enormous amount of waterways, because I mean there's a lot of waterways in the middle of mountains, mostly creeks and things like that, so it's, you know, you can just overpass through them, but at the same time there's a lot of them, and to pass through them you need to go at a certain angles, so it still, you know, limits. There still are limits, rather, on your building, even if you ignore the terrain. I like building it with some respect for the terrain, because it's already so much effort. It feels like that effort results in something more interesting to me. Okay. Alright, I think we're just going to viaduct across the freeway here. In reality, this goes under the freeway. This is a bridge that gets rather high. But for our purposes, because of the tools available in the game, it's going to make a lot more sense to viaduct right there. Okay. Now, let's delete this. They were too close together. All right, and we want to stay over here. Straight down. And straight through. Yes. We'll do one intermediate. Yeah, that gives us a better curve. Okay. Now, this is pretty straightforward, just following the contours. There we go. Okay, now, all right, so we want to get off to the left here. Want to get across. That's a little. There we go. It's a little better. All right. We are in Kalama, so that's actually getting pretty close here. Left or the right? I don't think it matters. This is a weird little section right here. All right, and then just straight up through this industrial area. These are some factories. They are either aluminum or steel, I believe. They might be an anodizing facility. Drive by them every now and then when I go to Seattle. Okay. No gaps. All right. Now this part. Okay, so we need to viaduct or tunnel. I think in reality it tunnels. So, you know, we've been viaducting a lot. It's cheaper, but let's tunnel. And we want to get in the center. Okay. Excellent. And we're just going to go in between the interstate until here. Okay. So let's bring this up. And we will tunnel here as well. Excellent. All right, and then from here, it's a pretty straight shot. I believe we have established right-of-way the entire rest of the path. But we shall see. We're going to need to do another bridge or two. The actual path should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, see. Another bridge right here. Get some viaduct action going. Yes, and we want to be on the left. There we go. Let's go straight ahead. Let's bring up our section from here. Okay, and we need to make it around here. I think in reality it goes this way. I don't want to make that sharp of a turn. So we'll go here, and then we'll make this turn. So that'll be our sharp turn. But still a kinder turn than it would be into there. All right. This is going pretty well. I did mention that, you know, if you go through these planing steps, then a lot of the stuff that's left becomes very very mechanical. Just, you know, do the thing. Let's see. Let's see if we can get by right here. Excellent. Excellent. And this comes through here. And that goes through there. And we'll change this to here so that we have enough space to viaduct. Get us across. Straighten out this wrinkle. Okay. Then come through, where are we? Oh, we're by Simon Creek. Okay, so we're about 15 miles from Portland. Excellent. Oh, that's a bit of a turn, isn't it? Well, I think at this point we have earned that by keeping so much of our track at such good speeds, especially when you get into the city, you kind of gotta make some, make some allowances. Okay, straight through here. Straight through. And then we have this turn, which is quite severe. Okay. Excellent. All right. Let's move this over here. And I think what we'll do is we'll connect this to that, and then we'll branch. Right, like this. 105, 122, 161, 350. Okay. So let's bring this to here. Oh, we want that, and then we want viaduct. Straight ground. Okay. And we'll go like this. We will delete this so that we can make a more reasonable. Okay, and now into our underground. Right, like that. Excellent. Now let's bring up the station. So the express station, this is the local. West Coast local. West Coast Express, maybe? Let's make this one the West Coast Express. All right, let's bring it straight out. Maybe 1 kilometer? Yeah, well, we don't need to be that exact, but bring it straight 1 kilometer before we think about doing any bending. And this gives us some opportunity to branch and join into this station, which is going to be very helpful. All right, and we do need to get over quite a bit. Right, like this. This is going to be a severe 169, yeah. So we will grab this like that, like 200. There we go. 300. Yes. We want these high speeds going into the station if we can, so that it has this room to make up that last little bit of slowdown. Okay. And now what we will do is we will branch off of here. Right like that. And we will branch again. Okay, 272, 286, 297, 300. Yes. Now we need to fix all of this because we have I wanted to make sure that the curves would work correctly, but you remember we need lots of nodes near signals, because otherwise what happens is we get some pretty severe signaling issues where the trains will not know where to go. They won't have the space to go. So we want segments. I'm doing segments about 100 meters here, but we want segments that have space between them. Okay. Okay. Right like that. Okay. So what we'll do is we will... No. There we go. There we go. Okay. And now we get to branch the other direction. Okay. 196, 265. Yeah, so we're gonna get some speeds that are a little bit off, but nothing terrible. All right, so we'll delete that, add some more smaller segments, just like that. grab this like that. Cool. Awesome. I think that is it. Now, if we just do build all blueprints, we're gonna build all of these alternative routes. I don't think we're gonna end up building these alternative routes. We probably will want to build up this way towards Olympia, and we'll want to build towards Tacoma. But those are gonna end up using different sets of track probably. So let's just go ahead and delete all these. They were useful little guidelines, but we don't need them anymore. And this is going to let us use the build all blueprints instead of trying to select this entire length. Okay, delete. See a gap. Is it just an artifact? Nope. Ooh, that would have been awful. That would have been truly frustrating. Okay. Is there another gap? It does not appear so. Okay, excellent. Well, 1 billion. So you remember it cost us nearly, what was it? Nearly 3 billion to do these three extra subway lines here in Portland. This entire Seattle line is 1 billion. So very cost effective, especially for the revenue. But it's important to have these feeder lines. See, Portland City Center can't generate enough passengers on its own to really turn that kind of crazy revenue I was talking about on those long distance lines. Especially, you look right here, long distance, 7%. Although this may be a regional trip, but still, having these other stations that can feed into Portland, you'll see a lot of trips that originate out in these other stations. They come into here for a transfer, and then they hit our station to Seattle. Seattle presents. Let's see. Seattle City Center. All right. Build all blueprints. And run our line. Oh, we already have this line. It's the West Coast Express. All right. Start in Seattle. And go to Portland. All right. And as I said, we are... Oh, man. Just keep improving. Man, I love this developer. All right. Well, I expect we're going to see even better estimation now. 4 hours and 28 minutes. This is for the round trip, by the way. So it's about 2 hours and 10 minutes each direction, which is actually faster than you can drive it. 0 trains? Does it actually estimate per train now? Oh, that would be amazing. Oh, let's see. I gotta see this. Purchase new trains. This is the one we're gonna use. 10. Give me 1. Let's make it white. Okay. Purchase 1. Put it on the West Coast Express. And now let's look at the line. 1 train. So it should be 2 hours and 15 minutes, I guess that's what it would be. So let's add another one just to see. How does it estimate this? Purchase. West Coast Express. Okay. Lines. 2 trains. It's just informational. Ooh, min interval hint. Oh my goodness. Oh man, I love this developer. It's so good. Okay, so we're gonna do a 5-minute min stop. And you see it adds 5 minutes to our interval hint. Okay, so let's add some more trains. Oh, this is amazing. 100 million. This would be 10 trains. What does that give us? Let's see. West Coast Express. Oh, I wonder if we can go back to our other lines and re-estimate. I bet you we can. I bet you we can. Ugh. 27 minutes between. So maybe add 2 more, 4 more. I want to see if we can get it down to like 15-minute intervals, or 20-minute at the least. So 2 more. Okay. 23. Yeah. I think we'll live with that. Paste set min interval times. Excellent. Let's see how it performs. It gave me lines overlay. Yeah. Let's see how it performs. Okay. State. Maybe we should bump up our... Why are these two so close together? Well, in any case, it'll even out. Okay, so we should see this arrive in the station about halfway through the countdown on this one. So at about 10 minutes. Oh, these are both counting. Okay, so that bug is still there. Okay. 1,000. That's excellent. Wonder why it is not speeding up more. What is with this train? That's why this one is catching up. This one is capped at 184. Wonder why. Okay. Yeah. I think that that'll work out well. What are we doing? Let's turn up the speed a little bit. You see, even on max speed, it's going pretty slow now. Okay, that's enough. It does look pretty good, doesn't it? There's these gaps, but that has to do with some weird speed issue. I'm not sure what that bug is. Yeah, so look at this. I told you, man. This long distance line, this is how you make money in this game. This is how you make enough to do all the things that you want to do. It's Tuesday, we didn't even have the whole day. Just had a few hours in the day. We're up to 11 million. Let's look at the profit. Yeah. See? This is how you do it. Awesome. Well, we have our West Coast Express line between Seattle and Portland built. I think the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to build a small subway network in Seattle to feed into this station. And we're going to increase the frequency of trains on the express line to keep up with service. I think if you see right now, right, so this is an off-peak time, so these aren't full, but it's very likely that at points where it is filling up, that we won't be able to keep up with demand, especially if we feed more demand into Seattle. So those will be our next steps. Maybe build the local lines in Tacoma, Olympia, Centralia, Longview, and Ridgefield. And then from there, we will probably extend this line from Salem down to Eugene. Get the local line into Corvallis as well. And that'll be our last stop before we get into the extremely challenging part of the build. If we want to build a line from Seattle to Los Angeles, the most challenging part of the build is Eugene to Redding, for sure. I mean, it's nearly a third of the total distance, and all of it is just terribly difficult to build. I mean, I guess you have the part between Wairika and Weed. That part isn't terrible. It's pretty flat right through here. I mean, it's a plateau, but it's pretty flat. But I mean, just this is going to be such a huge challenge. It might be best if we build from Los Angeles up to Redding and actually do this connection from Redding to Eugene last. That would also be very similar to how railroads have been historically built. But that is all for the future. This is now complete. And it feels wonderful. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.